Hello everyone, this is Dion Soul. How you guys doing? Well, today you are feasting your eyes on the FlyJSim's 732, the 737-200 that FlyJSims is made for X-Plane 11. And I have been flying it for the last 4 days now, and I have had nothing but problems. It's not the airplane, it's the problem. It's making everything else work. I was running X-Plane 11 version 11 20 VR3. I do not have VR, but I was hoping that the VR would take advantage of the because the VR would take advantage of the fact that you have better frame rates, and somewhat it did. But I was having such other dramas with other things, which we'll go into as you go further along in this video, that I ended up having to trash my X-Plane install and reinstall, and then actually go to the actual live one, which is version 11.11 R2, I think it is what it is right now as of this recording. So, but anyway, as we're looking at this airplane, I've also painted the airplane. It has got my Solus Wings livery on it that I use for Solus Wings on my virtual airline that I operate over at SimBuddy, and just for fun. You know, it's not like you're making big money with it or anything, or real world money, but it's just fun, just something to do. And so that's why I have this. It turned out really nice, and I really liked the livery. It turned out pretty well. That's right, we're in a static position here. So anyway, you can see my mouse, and when you see my mouse kind of act up like that, forgive me on the front end here. Is this airplane costs $69.95 on the xplane.org store. Now, is it worth the $69.95? To me personally, I'm a general aviation pilot to start off with. As far as simulation is concerned, I'm not a real world pilot by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a general aviation simulation pilot. And from that frame of mind and from that price point, is at $69, I think is too expensive for the airplane. Yes, it is. And as we go through the course of the video, I'll explain why, where the shortcomings are, and where the where the good thumbs up are in the course of the video. So, and this is basically a video review. And as long as my OBS stays up and operating and it doesn't crash the desktop on me like it's been doing for the last 15 times I try to do these video. Yay, me. Anyway, so here we go. The reason why I bought this thing is because of the cigar style, nacelles, turbofans, whatever you want to call it, the elongated turbofans. I like that design. I like this design very much. I think it's cool. The 737s of today, and the Airbus 320s, and the 757s, and the Airbus 380s, and so on. Just name off all the workhorse airplanes of today and major airlines. They all look the same. They all look the same. They all probably behave about the same, with differences here and there. But all in all, they all, to a casual observer, they look the same. It just looks like an airplane, a jet airplane. They know the difference between a jet and a prop, or a jet and a piston, to a degree, somewhat. A layman will know. But as a general rule, they all look the same. But you put one of these in front of them, and they're going to say, well, wait a minute. Yes, it's an airplane, but hey, that thing's got elongated nacelles or elongated engines. That's pretty cool. So on that mindset is the reason why I bought the airplane. It wasn't for the fact that it's, that anything else. It's just the fact that it looks good, and then everything else that works around it is a benefit. Again, now back to what I said. Is it worth $69? No, it's not worth $69. It's based on the Embraer 175 and the Embraer 195, and buying the whole Embraer 175 and 195 for $59, I believe, on the store, and you get two airplanes for less than the price of this one. No, it's not worth $69. So that's the kind of frame of mind I'm coming from. Best value for my money, and also to give you a heads up on if it's worth you purchasing or not. Again, I bought it because I like the looks of it, so I bit the bullet and bought it anyway because I wanted it, and that's just the end of story. I wanted it, so it is what it is. So anyway, so first off, let's go ahead and get on into the airplane, and in order to do that, we have five little little windows down here, and the third one or third one down is the doors. First, I'm going to start off by saying all the doors. This airplane has absolutely no power whatsoever attached to it. It is basically, it's not even turned on. The battery is not even turned on at this point. So if I go over here and I can open up every door and have everything operate. And you can see this, I mean, it's cool. The animations are cool, you know, and that sort of thing. But again, I expect that we're paying $69, so it better be damn cool, you know. That's kind of my mindset. So we'll go ahead and let this come out here, and then we'll go ahead and step on inside. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like, hey, this is cool. You know, I paid for it, and I like the smoothness and how it works out. I mean, it's awesome. So there's no bad here. It's just that, you know, I expect it for paying that kind of money. Now, what I did not expect is down over here where my mouse is right now, there is another door, and that door is the rear air stairs door. You cannot open that door with no power going into the airplane. Why you can open up all the other 5, but you can't open that one, does not make any logical sense to me. And I'm sure somebody in the comments down below are going to say, well, yeah, Dion, it's this and this and this. If they explain it to me, then I will concede. But at face value, to me, as a user, it's just kind of like, well, there must be a bug or something, because why is all the rest of them work and this one does not? So I'm not even going to bother to try to open it because it doesn't work, you know, so just for sake of argument. So we'll go ahead and go on inside to the airplane. And go ahead and feast your eyes on the interior. As we poke up in here, they do have a lot of detail in the airplane. You got details of these light switches and everything. You got a little light on right here right now, so you got all these lights on and stuff, and you got a light on in here right out of the box. So it's got power from the batteries. It automatically just, when you open those doors, it automatically turns on the battery in the context of opening these doors. The interior itself is what you expect. Is it better than the you know, the Embraer 175 and the Embraer 195? 195 I can't speak on because I don't own it, but the Embraer 175 I do. I don't really see that much as far as visual quality difference that much. You know, there is actually more, you know, passengers here, obviously, because it's a more passenger aircraft, and that's understandable. But as far as it actually, you know, from aesthetics point of view, does it look better than the spending $39 buying an Embraer 175? No. By X-Crafts, no. It's not that much better, if any better at all. So, you know, I would say no, it's not better, and that's one of my things. You're going to hear a lot of comparisons, and you're going to hear a lot of me yelling, you know, or saying, you know, this thing is $69, because this is my first and most expensive airplane that I have bought so far. That's a virtual airplane. Opening every one of these work, which is good. I'm glad that they do. I would have been kind of butthurt if they didn't work. And basically what you do is you left click and drag to open and close doors, and they all work. So there's another one right there. So they all work. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but you get the idea. All the shades work, and there is a setting in the if you go into your joystick configuration, there is a setting that you can these things can be randomized, where some come up, some come down. So when you're doing a video and you want to go outside, you just go in and set up a key, and then you would have them just automatically give you that simulation feel of of it. Now I don't know if these pull downs work or not. No, it looks like they do not. I don't see a hitbox for the trade tables to drop down. Would I be wanting the trade tables drop down, spending $69? I don't know. I'm not too overly concerned about that. I mean, how often am I going to be back here sitting as a passenger when I'm flying my own plane? Probably never. So I'm not tripping the fact that these things do not open and close. So that's no strike against the developer on that hacking those codes. Now, what I will say, however, is that I would strike against the developer not having all of these work and then having these errors. One thing that Dan Klaus did with the Quest Kodiak is he actually put his airs on gimbals, and he actually had the sound of the air, because this airplane does have 3-positional audio sound, which is fabulous, by the way. As far as sounds for this airplane, they're right on cue. I am not going to sit there and bag and say anything bad about the sounds. The sounds are there. So we don't have to worry about, I can put that to bed right now. We don't have to worry about sounds. Other than the fact, got to have that caveat, other than the fact that these things right here are not modeled very well. You can tell that this looks like it's not modeled very well, and you don't have they're not on gimbals, and you don't move them around like Dan did with his Quest Kodiak. Am I going to hold this against the developer for this airplane, for FlyJSim, for not making that? I don't know. Again, paying $69 is a lot of money to be spending on an airplane. So, and you notice what I did notice? I'm going to have to paint. That's another thing. It's on the paint. This is a pullout, and I don't see this pullout working. So there's no hitbox to have this open up for you. I mean, this works. That's good. But as far as this goes, I think I would have this working. I think that would be like an emergency, simulate an emergency situation. This should be working. It's not. So am I going to, cry to mom about it? No, but still, it's just kind of like, I'm paying $69. You probably should have had this work. And it doesn't work. We'll go ahead and continue on down the back here. Nothing really extraordinary other than what I'm going to get to with the with this back stairs here. The lavatories do not open. Regrettably, they do not open. I don't need to use the lavatory, but for an immersion factor, like a D-Den's airplane and RW Designs Hawker 4000. And like I said, with the Challenger 300, you can open the doors and you can at least go into the vanity or into the bathroom. So I would have thought that this would have worked, but it is what it is. The intercom thing, I don't know if they work or not, but you got switches and stuff. You can see that you just saw a hitbox right there briefly. So it works. So that's cool. I'm cool with that. Okay, this switch, there it goes. But the intercom works. It doesn't. You can pick it up and hold it in your hand or whatever. No, flashlight does not come out, which you'd be sitting there hanging it in your hand. But I don't expect the flashlight to work, and I don't expect the emergency kit to work either. So I'm not tripping on those right there. But I was expecting, like I said at the start of this video, I was expecting this back to work. See that right there? It says emergency. So if I pull this, which the hitch box is right along in here, it will not come out. So that totally defeats the purpose of this word here saying emergency. So it should be hydraulic or should be under pressure or something like that. If you click on this emergency, this thing should come out. Now, will it work? Yes, it does. It works just fine. It works when you have power to the aircraft. This is the only one that out of what I showed you over here with this that does not work. You can see how it's trying, but it's not. So the switches work, whether they have their actions do things, I don't know because I don't have the power on. But we'll investigate that at one point. So that is a disappointment. I would expect this to work for spending $69. To be to sum up on that. So that right there is a gripe and a quirk that should be fixed. And of course the exit doors. The exit doors really should work. Do they not work? And then am I tripping on it? No, but it's just kind of it really should be working. They should be working. So first off, let's go ahead and go on in here. We do some of the buttons. These buttons work. No, these buttons do not work, but I'm not tripping on that. These buttons do work. Yeah, they do. I saw a hitbox briefly. Hitboxes are kind of rough, trying to find the hitbox and everything, and that sort of thing. But they, you know, the reaction. See, they do bring everything in. And let's see if I can retract the door. Okay, that was the stairs, I believe. Standby, normal, retract, extend. I got this set at auto. Okay, those are the lights. Let's see if it. Oops, it went too high. Okay, so the door that closed. Let's see if it can close the door. Okay, we still can't close the door, but we can close the stairs. Let's see if we got. Okay, these are lighting controls. These are not. Yeah, these are lighting controls. These don't close the door. All right, so I don't know what button you use to close the door unless you just go out here and you just grab the handle. Nope, I don't see any hitboxes here to grab the handle to close the door. Like I said, I'm going kind of detail here because you're paying $69 for an airplane. So you want it to work. Oh, I just think there it is. That's the wrong way. Come on, hitbox. Hitboxes are very fiddly. Unless this is the hitbox. Oh, these are the hitbox. I'm actually seeing the hitboxes, which is actually inside the. So, okay, the door hitbox is not cooperating. If there's a hitbox for the door, it's not going. Because I think I'm actually grabbing. Yeah, I'm actually grabbing what's inside the. So, unfortunately, hitbox in there, and as you can see, you can clip through the airplane. They don't have any glass walls, so you can just clip right through. So we can retract the stairs. So that can be done. Let's see if we can extend the stairs. Come on, baby. Extend the stairs. Come on down. There it goes. So we can extend the stairs. All right. So we've already seen it open, so I'm not gonna trip on that. Lavatory here does not work at all, so not tripping on that. The door right here opens up just fine. You see a peephole right here, but unfortunately the peephole does not have. You can't look out through it. So I would think that you know, you'd have a peephole here that would work. I was sitting there seeing if there was a hitbox for the lock to lock the door, or if this is the peephole and you would just turn this and then this thing opens up so you're able to see. But it looks like no. This looks like this is a lock, and it actually looks like this is a way to break the door to be able to get inside in case of an emergency. That's what it looks like to me. But anyway, so that's pretty much. One thing I do like, which I was impressed with, was how the reflection of this mirror. Of course, I don't see myself here, but you can see me in the video. But you don't see myself here. But still, I think that's kind of cool with that the reflections of the mirror, how it moves around like that. That's impressive. I like that. That's cool. All right, so we're moving right along. Oh, we got some cup holders right here. Looks like it's probably for extinguishers and stuff or whatever. I don't know. Oh, we have the extinguisher over here. Okay, I didn't notice that before, but there is the armrest. I have not been able to figure out how to make those armrests come down, if they even do come down. Spending $69 for an airplane, yeah, I would think they should. So let's go ahead and get into the oops, wrong button. Let's go ahead and get inside here, and let's see if you can. I guess not. Can't. No, I don't see any hitboxes anywhere. No hitboxes. Again, you know, spending that kind of money, I would think you'd have armrest should be able to come out and be used, and it's not. So there's another strike against it. But a pet peeve. No, you know, not a major strike, just a pet peeve. Another pet peeve is right here. Right here in the cockpit. Let me say that. Let me start off with the good. The good is the Carpet looks really, really nice. I mean, the carpet's, I mean, the stitching detail and knobs, buttons, you know, all that sort of thing, top notch, no problem. Did you get your $69 money worth out of this, out of the this part of it? Yes. On this section part of it, yes, you got, for a good representation, you got your money's worth for, um, you know, for the interior, for the cockpit. They did a bang up job. There's no question about it. What they didn't do, and what I'm kind of disappointed about, is so, you know, somewhat, is you can't open the window. You know, you can't unlatch the latch. I'm assuming this is what this is representing, is a latch. Unpop the latch and then be able to open this window to at least you know, stick your head out. You know, I mean, we can still clip anyway, so at least you can be able to stick your head out right there. The window does not open, so that is disappointing. They should have these windows open. See, I thought it was a pressurization issue. Like when I first did it, when I first saw it, it's like, oh crap, I have my cabin's pressured, so obviously it's not going to open. But yeah, regrettably, it you know, like I said, it does not. They do not open. Now, again, back to the sounds a little bit. The sounds that you're hearing in the background when I don't speak, that is done by the airplane. It's not the sim, and it's not an add-on pack. That is the actual. That's part of what you pay the $69 for. Is the sounds, the ambient sounds that you have in here. When I start everything up, load passengers, and you'll start hearing passengers and everything else as well. So that's part of the money that you're paying for. Which is fine. You know, I don't have a problem with that. So the SEVA that you see right now, I had extra money left over with buying purchases of airplanes and whatnot over the time, and so I just went ahead and just, you know, got, it was free, so I thought, well, you know, why not? Because I already had this built up of points with the org store, so I went ahead and got it just to have another, just have it there, like, yeah, this is old school airplane. It had old school navigation, so that's there. Do I know how to use it? No. I don't know how to use the thing. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I've tinkered around with it, and I don't know how to use it. It's just there. I mostly fly with VOR anyway, because again, I am a general aviation sim pilot, and we use VORs unless we're doing the Garmin 1000 or the Skyview 2.0. Then of course that's different. But as far as you know, trying to use that thing, I'll eventually figure it out, because I want the challenge to be able to put in my own GPS. And fortunately, Little Nav, when you click on the map with Little Nav, like you're creating your flight plan or whatever, as a sidebar here, with Little Nav, you can right click on, or actually tell it to show information, and it'll actually have your GPS coordinates, your longitude, your latitude, your hours, minutes, seconds. It has all that information, so you don't have to go to a website, look it up to do a conversion. If you use X-Plane's native turning on and have it pop up on the screen on the top right left over here where my hand is on the screen, you can just use a Little Nav, and it'll actually give you, and it does the conversion for you all, you know, right then and there. So you can take those and import those into the SEVA and go on from there. So it's a little bit easier, because you don't have to do that conversion thing. But all in all, the SEVA is kind of a pain in the ass. So it's there for, it was free, so it's there for more or less aesthetics. A side note about the SEVA, with version 3.0 and X-Plane 1111 R2, I think it is, you have to actually go in here and actually turn it on almost every time. In this case, I didn't have to, but I have ran into situations where I've had to go in here and check it to turn on every stinking time. And how you know, just because I just thought of it just as I was speaking to you, is that how you know it's not on? You'll see it's automatically set to a line. When you know that the check is on, you'll see it move to off. So just a little pro tip right there. So the SEVA is there for looks mostly. I'll be mostly doing VOR with the airplane, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Let's see, what else? What else inside this cockpit that I need to talk about? Other than that, everything is pretty much, pretty much golden. I mean, it's a fine looking aircraft. So I guess without further ado, we'll go ahead and start this aircraft, and we'll go ahead and get started with it. Now, normally you click on this right here, but because I have the SciTech stuff, I have to turn on my SciTech switch. And then once I turn on the SciTech switch, now I got power to the airplane. And I'll go ahead and turn on the avionics, because it's going to, go ahead and turn on all these other buttons, even though they're not used. The SciTech switches, only a handful. Somebody's going to have to actually develop an actual, how to have all the switches all work together like they're supposed to. But at least I just put them all on, so then that way I can manipulate it from here. So we got the power on right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go on to the GPU. The GPU is in the options menu, which is the third one down, along with where you can change between navigation systems. There's 3 different navigation systems if you happen to have the SIVA INS plugin that you pay for, or like I did, in my case, you get it for free by just having extra points. You can toggle between the two. Because I've been having drama with the SIVA, I am not going to toggle, but you just toggle from this one to the X-Plane 11 default navigation, or just no navigation, all strictly VOR. The drama that I'm having, that I've been noticing, whether it be 11.20 VR1 or X-Plane 11 R2, which is what this version of X-Plane is, the release version. I noticed about 1 or 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes or so after, I start losing my hitboxes. My hitboxes all start going away, and so I get into situations where I cannot do that to be able to shut off the fuel, as an example. So once you load SIVA, the method I've been doing it to this point is what I've been doing with the SIVA is I load the airplane out, put the SIVA in, then I exit out of X-Plane completely back to desktop, and then I load it back in, then I load up the airplane back in, and then I seem to not have any problems after that. So I know most people are not even going to use the SIVA anyway, so there's probably no incentive for whoever created the SIVA to spend the time to actually make it work as intended. It's just, in my opinion, it's just an art piece, just sitting there to make it look like it's something that's going to be used, which is not. That's been my personal experience. Now, I'm sure somebody in the comment down below is going to say, "Oh, Dion, you're full of crap. It works. Mine works just fine. Yada yada yada," and good for you. I'm glad it's working for you, but for me, it doesn't work. So I have to call it out as I see it. Based on my personal experience, your mileage will vary. So no one's right, no one's wrong. It's just I have to put out, what my experience has been. Now, the reason why we have the options menu open here is because nothing really special to report really on this, other than the fact that the weights and balance thing. The only reason why this is put in here is so in case you have a plug-in that adds its own weight to the airplane, and the one that this is specifically probably about is FS Economy. FS Economy automatically loads your values, your fuel load and your payload values. So that's why the developer, based on what I read, put this in here that you can turn this on and off. For FS Economy. You can see it right there, feature for FS Economy users. So that's the only reason why it's even in here. With SimBuddy, we don't have that. It'd be kind of nice for SimBuddy to make something like that, but that's something that I've asked, and this has not been done yet. Windshield's clean, dirty. I like them clean because I like to simulate that the ground crew, when I'm starting my airplane, has cleaned the windshields. If I do multiple flights, then I'll switch the next next flight, I'll switch it to dirty just to make just to simulate that, okay, I've already got one flight out of my belt. I'm just doing a transition between one to the other. You know, I don't clean the windows, but in reality, probably every time an airplane lands, the ground crew probably cleans the windows. I don't know. I don't know how airlines work, so I'm assuming that they do. Because that would probably be a liability for the corporation or for the company who owns that airline, that let's say that something happens and the pilot just couldn't see, and so it caused an accident. Well, the windshield was dirty, I couldn't see out, or something that a lawyer will use to sue the company. So I would think it would probably be in their best interest to have the windows cleaned on every flight, just to avoid that kind of lawsuit. Because remember, we live in the 21st century here. Especially here in America, it's all about the lawsuits. That's just the way things are. I don't know about it is in the other countries, but here in the United States and California, for that matter, that's just the way it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn on this GPU, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the air cart too. You hear it spool up, which is cool. So you can hear the sounds. Sounds are awesome, and it is positional. As you can see, I'm moving my head around. And you can hear it. And if I go over here and open the door, the volume didn't go up that much. Now it went up a little bit better because I'm stepping outside here. But here is a problem. And here is another gripe I have with the airplane, and why I think it should be included when you're spending $69 for an airplane. Look around. Look what we got here. We got the sounds. We got the 3-position audio sounds. But where is the air cart? Where is the GPU? You're spending that kind of money on an airplane. You should have those modeled. So that's one of the reasons why I say this isn't worth $69 for this airplane in things like this. They should have this model. Now, I will retract what I just said and all the other problems that I just said if the developer will add the air cart, will add the GPU, will go in and fix the back door to make it so it opens and closes either with the power on, off, or make a decision instead of leaving it like it is. Because as a user, it's kind of like, well, what the hell? You know, why isn't this thing not working? You know, that kind of thing. So to make me feel good about my purchase, not me personally, but as I'm thinking this in the context of a customer, an end user, such as myself and you who is watching this video that chooses to buy this airplane, they should, if they're not going to, on release, have it on release, at least put those items in a patch or in an update, or something like that. Not a DLC. Because you've already spent $69. That's a lot of money to be spending on an airplane. Especially, with the way it is, it's good and all, and there's a lot of neat things in this airplane, but still, that's a lot of money to be spending, and you're not having basic things like an air cart. I mean, you get the another example, back to the example, the X-Craft's 175. If I recall correctly, they don't have an air cart, but at least they have the GPU, and it's for $39. So and they actually have their own FMC, by the way, for that particular airplane. So they actually put their time and investment. So somebody makes the argument saying, well, it takes a lot of time to do this, Dion, da-da-da-da. Well, you know what? X-Crafts took a lot of time to be able to design and build their own FMC for the Embraer 175. So that's a wash on that argument, in my opinion. So again, that's a gripe I have with this airplane, and why is one of my reasons why I say it's not worth $75 is because, $69 is because it doesn't have it. If you have it needs to have all these things. I'm spending that kind of money, it better have all these things. So it is what it is. So I don't know what to say, more to say on that. So anyway, so let's go ahead and now we got that going on right there. one thing I do like is on the bottom one, you got this nice little handy dandy a window that you can do your checklist. Briefly go over, you do have a maintenance system here. Yes, they probably spend a lot of time to be able to create this maintenance system thing, which is cool. But me personally, I think this is cool. I'll use it eventually. But right now, I want to get familiar with this airplane. I want to learn how this airplane flies, learn all the ins and outs, because I spent the $69. I want to learn all the ins and outs. I want to get my value out of it. So this right here is not a priority for me and probably for other people. Right now, this is cool. I would rather have them take this information right here, or this development time investment, and invest it into the air cart, invest it into the GPU and all the maybe other things, instead of spending their development time in this. But that's just me. Again, that's my opinion. That's, you know, your opinion is going to definitely be different. So there's no point in arguing with me about it, because, you know, it's apples and oranges. It's just that's just my personal opinion. I think the time would have been better spent on other things that would have been better. But, you know, it is what it is. So that was number 4. Number 3 again is back to the doors. See, I can open the doors now that we got power to here. If I go back outside, right over here, let's go get rid of this checklist real quick. This thing should start opening up. And of course, it's going to make me a liar, aren't you? Because this thing should have started opening up already. Or did I not turn on the generator? That's why. Okay, my bad. I did not turn this on yet. So now we turn this on. Now we got power to the aircraft. Now I can go back out here, and now I can hit this button, and there it is. Now it's opening. So there you go. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's neat. But, you know, I would think that this would work the same as all the rest of these at the start. You know? Or at least you can make the argument saying, well, Dion, there is no handle on here to open this. You have to open it from the inside. And if that's the case, then okay, fine. Then you open this one, you walk around here like you saw me at the start of the video, and you would release through the release, and then you should open it that way. Still doesn't open. So that needs to be fixed. So, in my opinion, if you wanna do the workflow with this thing going around, then that's fine too. You know, then that's okay. But still, it needs to work instead of the way it is right now, having to. Actually, we got a load passenger, so let's just go ahead and leave it. But still, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's neat. I like the looks of it. It's really good. I mean, it's cool. But don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm bashing it like, oh, this is crap. It's not crap at all. It's just that why they decided to have the thing power, the only one. It's kind of doesn't make sense. So anyway, that's the doors. So let's go back inside. And then you already know about this one already. Already discussed that one. Okay, the fuel imbalances. Now that we got all the doors open, now we can start playing games with this. Let's make it bigger. I do like the fact that you can sit there and left click and drag and make this bigger and smaller. That is awesome. I like that. Is it worth the $69 just for that by itself? No, but as far as everything else, it's all good. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to empty everything. And then I'm going to put, let's see, we're going to go, see, we're at minus 83, so oops, we're not going to go very far. Let's go ahead and we're going to go to Vegas. Vegas, I'm going to put 300 miles worth of fuel. That should be more than enough to get there, I would think. So we're good there. So the fuel's taken care of. I like the fact it's quick, simple, easy. I have everything set in kilograms, even though I'm an American, and us Americans, we like our imperial standard, or whatever they call the unit of measure, or whatever it's called. I don't know, don't care. But you know, our feet and inches and foots and stuff like that. Well, in this case, because of SimBuddy having it in kilograms, everything is set in kilograms. You can go back over to the other screen down here, and you can actually change it You can change it from kilograms to pounds if you want to. But for simplicity's sake and to make an interface with SimBuddy, you know, make the workflow easier, I just have it set at kilograms and we're good to go. So that's why it's at kilograms. So anyway, so we're set at kilograms. We got 317 nautical miles, and I think it's only like 190 or something, or 130 or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's not that far. Well, actually, I could tell you. If I sit there and I do have little nav up here. Hey, little nav, tell me how far it is away. And it is 213 nautical miles. So at it's going to take me 42 minutes to get there at 300 knots at 23,000 feet. So that's my plan anyway. Let's see if we can make that happen or not. So we're good on the fuel. So passengers. Now, with the SimBuddy, because I'm using, I'm giving this option of what I do. So then, I mean, you do whatever you want. This is what I do if you're running a virtual airline and you're doing SimBuddy or whatever, and you want to simulate your passengers and everything else. I'm currently running the alias for SimBuddy. I'm currently running the Hawker 4000. That's the alias I'm using because that is the most bang for your buck airplane at the $200,000 price point. When you start an airline, you immediately have $200,000 and some change to burn, and so the first thing you do is you get the biggest and baddest airplane you can get when you're doing virtual airline, because you want to make the most money as fast as possible. And that Hawker 4000 is the one. It is 6909 kilograms in cargo and is 12 passengers. So it's big. And even though I don't think the real Hawker 4000 is really that big, but hey, that's what they got in the system. I'm going to take advantage of it in the system, and I need to take a drink. Doing a lot of talking here because I want to make sure you guys have total experience in this airplane to base on your decision if you want to buy this airplane or not. So for SimBuddy cargo, we fill it up full. Fill this bad boy up full because that is cargo is 3402 kilograms, and then whatever is left over between the 96 or the 6909 or 6906 or whatever it was, I forgot what it was exactly. I already did the math, and the math was to populate the rest of this with passengers, and the passengers is 32 count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and just populate some passengers here. If with other airplanes, I'm sure you've seen this, so this is probably nothing magical to you. But like I say again, this is my first big money airplane, and so this is new to me. If I can just get everything set right, we're at 18 passengers right now. I wish there was a little. They would have some kind of form that would just have a pull-down menu here, and you would set this up once, and then you can just adjust it. You would load up that predefined, and then okay, we're at 21, so we're a little high. So we're a little high to the back, right? So let's go ahead and add 1 to the front, 2 to the front, right? Let's try 2 to the front. And then we'll take away 2 to the back. What happens? Yeah, see, now we're at 19.6. Okay, fine. Close enough. It's close enough for government work. So that's pretty much the size of it. So now I'm going to have 32 passengers, and then with all that working out, ends up being the full load from the Hawker 4000, and that's how I do it. And it works just fine, no problem, and the airplane can more than enough take care of it. So we're good there. So now let's go back to our handy dandy cheat sheet. And battery on, we already got. APU is on, no, because I'm running ground power. But we'll go ahead and make sure pack signs, passenger signs. So let's go ahead and turn all these on if I can get to them. Those are on. Emergency lights on. Galley on. Yaw dampener, which automatically going to kick back out. But on the other one, it tells you to do it. Now, if I do, if I turn on the APU, I gotta. Does it say to on emergency lights, window heat? Wants me to put on the window heat. Okay, window heats, radios, radar set. We'll pretend like they're already set. Parking brakes already set. Okay, so it says start APU. Hold the APU switch to start. Well, you can't hold it and start it until you give it some juice. So that's why I dropped down the one of the tanks down here so we can give it some fuel. 3 count, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, and you see it's starting to go up a little bit. So I'll go ahead and release and see if it still continues to rise or not. It looks like it is. Close the field. I'm assuming that means all of your passengers and all that whatnot. So I'm assuming that's what that means. So what we will do, go over here, and we will close up all the windows and doors and close all that up. And the packs are off. All the packs are off down here. Let's go over here to this menu. So the packs are off right now, so we're good to go there. My altitude, I'll go ahead and do it right now. We're not going very high, so let's go 19,000 feet. I'll adjust it down here. 19,000 feet. There, 19,000 feet. We don't need to go very high. We're not going that far. And then I don't even know what the Las Vegas's elevation is. It says elevation. Give me your elevation. Runway lake is 14,000 feet. Longest runway is 14,000 feet. Did not know that. But you're not telling me how long what the elevation is. Oh, yeah, there it is. 2,100 feet. 2181. So we'll put this at 22. This at 22. And okay, there it is at 2,200. And cabin pressure 6,000. That's fine. I'm not big deal. That's fine. All right, so we're good to go there, and we're going to go ahead and switch over to Apu Power, and then we are going to get rid of the ground power. See, by me turning it off like this, it should. It'd be kind of nice if it would just automatically turn this off like that. I'll go ahead and turn off the other, and like I say, packs are on. We'll go ahead and turn on the dual bleeds because we're going to get ready to start this bad boy. Beacon light is on. No, it's not, but we're going to make it on. The beacon light is the collision light, and we're going to make sure that our position lights are on. It should have, on the other checklist that comes with the airplane or the PDF, it tells you to have these on before you even start the APU, which for safety reasons I can see that making sense. Now that's interesting. Galley power off, whereas the other thing, it says the galley power needs to be on. So don't know what's up with that. So we'll go ahead and turn it back off. Bleeds at 30 plus, and currently we are not at 30 plus. Because, or are we? Well, we might be. Yeah, we're at 30 plus because there's 40 right there. So yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, that's fine. Okay, and bleed valve, engine bleed valves are open, and we are set at automatic. I could go. Oh, that's an isolation valve. I'll just leave it automatic. And I didn't turn on the gasper fan. I forgot to do that. But I guess because we're starting an engine, I guess we don't worry about it. Okay, it says start the engine. Start the engine with the ground weight. The engine gets to N2, raises to 20%, and then start the valve on. And start the next engine. Start the valve on. So they're saying that they want me to have these off like that, and then start the valve. Hey, something new to me, so hey, I got no problem with that. Let's start the right engine. I thought you had to have those open, but okay. Maybe not. I see it rising. N2 is rising. to 20%, introduce fuel. Boom. Now we're introducing fuel. And it says as soon as the oil pressure light goes out on this one, then we can start the next engine. Oil pressure low. Generators off. Oil pressure low. Okay, so we can start the next engine now. So let's go ahead and start the next engine. So it doesn't tell me to turn the suction back on. So okay. So we'll go ahead and hit the next engine. If it'll let me do it. Hitbox. Come on, hitbox. No, that's not the way I want to go. There we go. And we'll climb up to 20%. Getting hot in here. Okay. And as soon as we have oil pressure, I will go ahead and I'll go to the next page. That's what I'll do. Go to the next page. Anti-icing as required. Pitot heats on. Pitos. Okay, pitos go on. Okay, windshield heat is already on. Flight INST set for departure. Flight controls checked. Speed brakes down. Okay, so it doesn't tell me to go ahead and turn these on, so I'm going to turn these on. I'm going to go ahead and turn the packs on. And then I'm going to speed brakes down. Yeah, I don't understand why speed brakes down. Yeah, speed brake down, duh, speed brake. Well, it's down meaning, I think what they mean by speed brake down, I'm guessing what they mean by down is that right now they are up. So, now they're down. Well, I never raised them in the first place, so I don't know what's up with that. Stab trim set for takeoff. Well, I could just go like that, or I could either do that, or you can just double click. Another thing, there's two options. There's a pro tip that you just double click right here and it'll automatically set it for you, or I can just hit, because of X-Plane, you can bind one of your keys to takeoff and just hit the takeoff button. It'll set it that way too. Galley power on. So we'll go ahead and saw a light there. Oh, that was because we set the other thing. Galley power on. All right, so fine. We'll turn the galley power back on. Hey, the dampener didn't go off on its own. It's still on. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let's go ahead and throw some generators in here. Now we got generators, right? Okay, see now I don't for sure the generators came on. So what we're going to do is generator 1. Ground power off. Standby power. So yeah, all generators are going. And if we go over here, the TRs, all that sort of thing, everything is going. So yeah, we are cooking with gas now. So now gallery power, electrical, no lights, fuel heat off, and we should go ahead and turn the rest of the fuel on too, huh? Fuel heat off, hydraulic pressure quality, the hydraulics. We'll go ahead and turn the hydraulics, rest of them on. APU as required, set cruise control, set to cruise elevation, already set that. Flight ground switch to flight. I'm assuming they're talking about pressurization. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. So, yeah, I think that's what they're talking about. That's the only one I can see this for flight. Would be the pressurization. Like, and that is a flight ground switch right there, so that's got to be it. EPR and airspeed bug set. Well, that's all default, so I'm not going to touch it. Except for I am going to change my indicated airspeed to 220 knots. And also I'm going to set my pitch, my command pitch to, which I don't know if you can do that. Just to go over here like this, and then make sure that that is set to 15 degrees, which is right about there. So that's set. Flight director set, but when flight director ready to go. Heading, when did KWJF, what was our takeoff?
General WMJ Fox Airfield Information Oscar.
24 at, and we're at 23 on our, 23 on our barometer. 23, right there. And we're taking runway 24, so that means at runway 24, that means we set our heading at runway 24. Runway 24. Oop, there we go. I like how the dials, you know, just they're halves, the halvesies that you see right there. I think that's pretty neat. I think that's cool. Old school. Okay, so then that takes care of that checklist. This is transponder set to when we're ready to take off. Landing lights on. I'm not going to turn the landing lights on until I'm clear of the flight line. I'm currently behind the flight line, so what's up with that? So let's go ahead and finish the rest of this. And so let's go ahead. We got those on, those on, those on. We'll go ahead and hit our taxi. Now, I could just go ahead and do it anyway, and we could do it this way. You can hit cold call or call the ground to have them do pushback, call for a pushback, and which is right here on this button right here. So we'll go ahead and go through it right here. You hold it for like 3 seconds.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Please show me where you want to go. And so here we go. Now this is a better pushback, and I highly recommend anybody who does not have it get it. It's free and it is very very handy, because you can even use it with your turboprops and everything else. I mean, it's anything that needs pushback. So I'm just going to go ahead for this purpose. I'm just going to go ahead and have him just put me right there, and I'm just going to hit. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. I can turn it. I can have him go there. I can have me go over here. I mean, I can actually dance around the entire, the entire field. And I'm not going to do that, but you can see this thing is pretty damn cool. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Tow is driving up. So I'll go out here and take a look outside. Look at this for the moment. And there he is. He's not in the big one, he's in the little bitty one, which is kind of weird. And also, I've already started, because normally he would say you can go ahead and start your engines while you are being towed into position, but I already started the engine, so it has enough wherewithal to know to bypass that, altogether. Watch our little guy here.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
So do you want me to release parking brake? Can't be, because you gotta put it in.
Switching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start.
That's one stout tow thing, picking that much weight up on that little bitty bar of metal there. That's that's funny. That is just too funny. But hey, that's neato. So he's just going to drag me right over there and just set me up. If I remember right, the real airplanes were dirty. I mean, they would put out a lot of smoke. That's pretty neat. I like better pushback. That's a really cool plug-in. You gotta put me exactly where he needs to be.
Operation complete. That's parking brake. Disconnect your tow. Stand by.
Like I said, that little bitty piece of metal, putting up that much weight, that's pretty impressive.
Tow is disconnected and bypass in has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
And there he goes. That little bitty tow thing carrying that big old airplane. That's funny. Okay. That takes care of that. So you can wait, bye. Bye. Okay, so we are good to go there. We have towed ourselves into position. I'm going to go ahead and leave the APU on for now. Are we still in dual bleeding? We still do bleeding here? Yeah, I guess we still are. Whether it's the right call to do that or not, I do not know. Probably not, because you can see it's discrepancy there. So you know what? No. Screw that idea. We're going to turn off the APU, and we're going to turn off. Disconnect the APU, and now it's going to go. Now it's going to be stable. And packs are all on. Everything's on there. Everything's good there. We got that good there. We got that on there. That on there. No, I don't want to turn off. Okay, stall's good. Slats are good. Okay, good to go there. Okay, go back to the V speeds. V speeds. What are we doing with our V's? Our V's are going to be two notches. 2 notches on the flaps, and again, make sure that we are set. We are set with our thing there. What do you call it? Our pitch trim. So we're good to go there. And I'll go ahead and close out for right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and start taxiing to runway 24. And make sure the taxi light is on, and I'll go ahead and turn those on. I am not, now this particular flight is not going to be a sim buddy flight, because I don't know if I can set it up fast enough. We'll just, because the last time I did this I crashed. I could try it, but which means I'd have to stop. I'm going to take my attention away to be able to set up SimBuddy real quick. SimBuddy, 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 SimBuddy. VA. Loading your virtual airlines. Please wait. And fly. And available flights. And we're going to KWJF, from KWJF to KLAS, I'm going to make very little money. That's okay. We're using the Hawker 4000, and we're doing general aviation because we're not going far enough to be giving away peanuts and all other stuff. And I think our fuel was 3407, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 1 hour, and our height altitude is 19,000 feet. 12 passengers, boom. So that takes care of that. So now SimBuddy is set. Now I need to go turn the SimBuddy client on, and I'll
SimBuddy is connected.
Alright, SimBuddy is connected. This might bug out because we already have the engines going and all that sort of thing, so it may freak out and sit there and say, well, wait a minute, the airplane's already moving, you've already, you know, yada yada yada, so let's see if it'll even start. So let's go ahead and launch the SimBuddy client, and we'll give that a minute here for it to load up, and we'll see if it'll actually, I guess I better put the parking brake on. Alright, parking brake is set. There's no point in me showing you guys all this, it's just, you know.
Okay, we're all set.
Okay, I gotta turn on the music, I gotta put the seat belts on so I don't, I wish the seat belts would intertwine with the actual sim. And the music's gotta go down to real low because the music is annoying. So that takes care of that. So SimBuddy's now active, so now this is a SimBuddy flight. So we're good to go there on that regard, and we will go ahead and flip to here, and that's Las Vegas. So let's go over here to where we are at right now, and we're just going to follow the flight plan. And let me unsnap the, and we're just basically going to VOR it. VOR to Hector, then from Hector, just go right on over and to Boulder City. And then from Boulder City, then I will use the heading at that point to hit to Hako, and then from Hako, I'll try to capture the ILS to land with. At least that's the idea anyway. And I've never done that with this airplane, so we'll see how that plays. That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. So we'll see how that goes. Alright. So we got that taken care of right there. Let's go ahead and jump back into the cockpit. And there we are back into the cockpit. And we'll turn on all our lights. Our lights are on. That is on. Strobe's on. The only thing I don't have is the wing lights. I don't really need the wing lights. Wing lights on. I don't know what's up with this right here. It says ram door full open. We gotta turn those on too, by the way. Customers gotta get air. I don't know how to turn those off, make those lights go out. I don't know. Maybe they're supposed to be on. I don't know. That's one of those things that I just don't know. Equipment cooling, normal. Those are all taken care of. I'll take care of it. I don't need to worry about wipers. I haven't ran into a rainstorm yet since I need it. I don't know how well the rain is modeled with this airplane, because as you know, they basically, Laminar has taken all the responsibility for the actual aircraft developers to simulate the rain and that sort of thing instead of actually having the sim itself. I think somebody needs to make some mod or something where it actually would, you know, do snow accumulations, do the rain accumulations, see puddles in the ground, yada yada yada. Somebody needs to build something like that. And X-Enviro needs to do that, or SkyMax Pro needs to do it. I am running SkyMax Pro because I paid for that a long time ago, so I still have SkyMax Pro. So anyway, so we're good to go there. Everything is on. Let's go ahead and give us some juice. And I'll make our turn here. Sure nobody's coming at me, which I'm expecting to be. Okay, we're already at takeoff set, so And this is going to, I'm still trying to get used to this airplane, so you're going to see right off the bat that I'm going to have a rough time on rotate. But, you know, well, way it goes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. We are cleared for takeoff. We're going to do full steam ahead. Death Star approaching. Got some left rudder in. Try to keep it down the runway.
E1, rotate.
As you can tell, I'm trying to... I really didn't have positive climb when I did that. I should have waited until I had positive climb. And let's get the autopilot going. And we should be getting speed up. Our speed should be set at 220 knots and settle down. And our navigation, they already tried to go to, that's heading. Should be on heading right now and not, we're going to spin our heading around so we can capture the VOR. There's the VOR. You can tell it's briskly windy. We'll continue on this heading. We'll pull back on the throttles a little bit. We're kind of giving too much power here. We're in the red, I can see. Let's see if I can get rid of some... and lights off. Lights off, taxi lights off. Keep on spinning ourselves around until we can acquire the VOR. And take a peek outside of Lancaster. There's KWJF, Lancaster, California, USA. Up in the high desert at 24,000 feet. And I need to adjust our VORs a little bit. Get ourselves back on track. And of course we're going to whistle while we work here. We're actually not set to the Palmdale VOR. I gotta fix that. I wonder. I'm sitting there going, why am I not set for the VOR? Oh, that's because, dummy, I did not set it. Alright, there we go. Well, the customers are not complaining yet, so SimBuddy customers are not complaining, so that's good. Excuse me. Hit my cough button here. And we'll pretend that I'm the only person in the skies and and the world revolves around me. Well, you know what? You don't have to. I am, because I am the only one in here. I don't have anything installed. Also, you know what we do need to do is we need to put our transponder on, turn on our fancy dancy TCAS, brightness, make all that nice and neat. We'll point towards the ground a little bit. There we go. Takes care of that. We're still cruising, still climbing at 220 knots. Airplane's a fast airplane. I'll give them that. Everything looks fine up there. What am I missing down here? 19,000 feet, 2,200, 6,000. We are in flight mode. Good there. I guess we're okay. And now I need to switch over to the next VOR, which I just totally missed. Oopsie, I totally missed it. We're supposed to be hitting Hector, and Hector was 112.70. So now I gotta fix my mistake. Now I'm flying over, still flying over Palmdale. Flying over my house. That's so good. Oh, actually, that's a little rock. It is a nice airplane, I'll give him that. It really is. And now I'm going to pull back on our throttle here because we're going to be going like a bat out of hell. I want to cruise about 300. It's fine. And we got a tailwind at 38 knots on us. Very nice. Let's see what we got going on here. We got, looks fine. Position lights are good. Collision lights are on. Strobes are on. Wings, you don't care. Logo we can turn off now that people doesn't see my advertisement. And all these are off. Those are off. All looking sexy. Cold. Air temperature at auto. PSI. We are 6,000 feet, so we're fine there on our pressurization. But we're looking good. Just trying to get back because I went too far. You can tell by seeing what I did here, I went too far. Let me jump over here to the. You can see I messed up and had to started going down. That one, so now we gotta get back here, get back on track. But I definitely recommend Little Nav to anybody who doesn't. If he doesn't have it, it's free and it gives you a wealth of information. And you set it up to where you can do what I'm doing right now by follow me map. Now, granted, I do have another monitor, so I got 3 monitors set up here, so I'm able to put the workload across all 3 monitors, so which is very helpful. Okay, we're right around 79% on our N1, and we're right around 300 knots, and we're still climbing a little bit on speed, so I'm gonna back it off just a little bit. And again, I didn't mess with the CETA because I did not, it's just there for SIVA. It's just there for looking good. I mean, I could turn it on. Hopefully, it won't boink my system out here. And I can't align it because we are already moving. But if we weren't moving, then I could, But it works. It's just that it's I don't know how to use it, so that's my problem. I'll figure it out eventually. It's not on my extreme priority list here. Alright, so I need to set myself up for the next VOR, which the next VOR is going to be 116.70, and that is going to be the Boulder City VOR. don't know why it says TCAS is off. Oh. Strange. And a little jump right there. Now I do have head shaking action going on here, I thought. There it is. Head shaking. And it could be the reason why my mouse is getting stuck. It's because of the head shaking mod. See, like right now, my mouse is stuck. Normally I just move it and it stops, and then I'm able to mouse and then be able to move it again. But sometimes the mouse will get stuck. And as you've been seeing right along on this video. So, but like I said, all in all, the airplane is a fine airplane. Would I recommend it to somebody? It's totally up to you. I'm not going to sit there and say that it sucks, because it doesn't. It's just that, you know, it's $69 is a lot of money, and not having the air card and the GPU modeled, and not having passengers modeled in the back, you know, I'm expecting a lot for $69. You know, it's just. I know it's a lot of work, but you know, you get what you pay for. You pay a lot of money. You pay a lot of money for a product. You expect to get a lot for your money. There's not much more in this current, the way the airplane is currently. There's not that much more than what I'm already getting in the, you know, in, like I said before, in the X-Craft's Embraer 175, except for the 3-position audio sounds. This airplane does have, there's no question about it, does have more modeled sounds than the Embraer 175. But the Embraer 175, I'm paying $30 less than this airplane. So, you know, for me, it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to spend the $69. I even, you know, had the Airbus 320 Ultimate caught my eye, and I was thinking about that over this one, and I chose to go with the this one because I wanted the old school. You know, I wanted the you know, all the old school knobs and dobs and you know, dials and yada yada yada, and all that stuff. So that's why I went this route instead. And I like the looks of this airplane. You know, the Airbus A320 Ultimate, it just looks like, you know, like the run-of-the-mill airplanes that are, you know, available today. It just looks like at least this airplane right here is unique. It's special, like I said at the start of the video. And I like that. I like, you know, flying things that are not normal, especially in today's world. Definitely not normal. I don't even know if there's any of these are even flying anymore, even in smaller countries, because the cost of these things. These are expensive, you know, to maintain and fly, I'm sure, compared to modern day airplanes. So we are about 18 miles or so away from Hector, roughly. Well, what's it say? It says 17 miles. Ooh, I guessed pretty good now, or 16. I was sitting there when I said that, I was looking at the NB, or ND, when I saw that. What I have is XHSI 2.0 beta 10 is what I have. And so I have a whole other set of gauges on my laptop here that's giving me information. So I can, you know, see what everything is and just have a redundancy. Because I could sit there and just go Alt W, is that what it is? Or Control W, or W or something like that. I don't know. One of these buttons here makes it so you can actually. Thought it was Shift W. No, Shift W just gives you your HUD. Oh great! Now I can't get rid of it. Okay, there you go. I guess I got rid of it now. So Shift W, right? So Shift W gives you your HUD, which is kind of cool. That's interesting. I would rather have the HUD like in a little screen like this or something, you know, instead of it, you know, it's like you were wearing a helmet or something, overlaying it with a helmet. All right, so now we need to start changing and rotate to the next VOR. And I rotated a little too early to switch to the next VOR, but not too bad. It wasn't too bad. Computer would have done a better job. Damn computers. And we're still cruising at 297 knots, so that's good. Now it's going to correct itself a little bit. I still got my passengers happy. Such a short flight. I'm just telling them to keep their seatbelts on. The aircraft flies really well. My very first flight, that was when I was really impressed. It's kind of like, oh, okay, this is why people spend this kind of money. It's because when I went from Flagstaff, Arizona to KWJF, I was VOR to VOR. Excuse me. Everything was just, on the up and up. No problems at all. I mean, it was just nearly a picture-perfect flight. You really couldn't ask for much more. And let's see what we got here. We got, where we at? There's Doggett. Okay, so behind us. No. So that right there is Highway 40. Right there. Heading on down to, or going towards Flagstaff. And then right there is going to Vegas. It's Interstate 15 right there. Going to Vegas. The direction we're going. Did that road countless times over the years. Let's see. We are next waypoint. I was looking to see how far we are to our next waypoint. Our next waypoint will be there in 12 minutes. See, it's a nice handy thing with this little nav map, is it tells me the next waypoint we're going to be there in 84 nautical miles. It's 12 minutes. Current heading is 32 says 32 on the heading. And what is this? What does this say? That's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's 30, a little less than 30. So I like the fact you can take it, open and close it. That's kind of neat. We're at 21,000 feet here, so I need to change this up a little bit. I told Little Nav that we're going to be at 23,000 feet. We're not. We're at 21. Or 19, sorry. We're at 19. So our top of descent is going to be in 6 minutes. I have not figured out in this airplane how to descend. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if I want to descend, I have been, I mean, I use my SciTech stuff. I just, you know, go to my VS, set my VS and what I want, and I'm good to go. But if you didn't have the SciTech stuff, you know, I don't know. I thought it was this gauge over here on this side. You know, I thought it was over here on this one, right here. I thought this was the one that would. I notice my mouse is dark, not light. But I thought there's this gauge right here. You would set your V speeds, but this airplane does not have V speeds. All it has is ILS. So. I mean, how I did it before is I hand flew it before. I just turned off the autopilot and I just, you know, got it down that way. Or use the SciTech stuff. And we still got a couple of minutes, so we can go ahead and go on out. You should hear a little bit of passengers here. There you go. And we'll do the over the wing shot, so that's what, right about here somewhere. Try this one. There you go. There's an over the. I don't have enough buttons to set my views. I need to install X camera back on the computer so I can have more views to save. But yeah, so there's our wing shot, which is cool. Looks nice. I like it. Yeah, it won't let me. I was trying to use the period, but it won't let me do it. So, oh well. But I like the fact that it calculates it for you. Your vertical nav, I'm sorry, your top of descent. For those of us who are calculation challenged. So we'll be at top of descent in 2 minutes. But like I said, it's a real nice airplane, and I'm not going to sit here and say that it was a bad purchase by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't a bad purchase. I just wish for the money they gave me more. That's all. That's really what it boils down to. I think for the purchase, and hopefully to redeem. Hopefully they can redeem by just, you know what, I should have been at, oh, you know what, I'll just do it this way then.
Charlie, India, Golf, Alpha, Romeo, Kilo, Hotel, November, Delta, altimeter 3015.
Kilo, Hotel, November, Delta, altimeter 3015. Charlie, India, Golf, Alpha, Romeo.
Okay, get my mouse back. Mouse will move around, but it takes a minute or two for, like I said, I've been having mouse issues. It won't let me zoom my mouse back sometimes. So I go like this, and then at least I can get back. Get it back anyway. Eventually my zoom wheel will come back. I don't know if I have a bad mouse, because when I get out of the sim, I don't have a problem. It's something with X-Plane. I don't know. Or it's the head tracking. The head shaking thing is what's boinking it out, which is very possible. Did I miss top climb? Oh no, we're almost there. And then we're going to start our descent. Yeah, I need to learn how to descend with this thing, because I'm using the ILS right now. I put my ILS speed down to 320 or 220, sorry, and it doesn't seem to be falling like I was expecting. What's my V-plate say? The landing. 21. Okay. See, they have the Q and H in, you know, not in millibars. They got it. They need to go in. They need to put it in where you can change it to, you know, inches of mercury instead of the other that they have right now. We're not, so now I'm going to have to intervene and then use my SciTech stuff and actually force it to go down more. So I can be sure to. And there's Lake Mead. There is Lake Vegas. See, now I just intervened and turned on my SciTech stuff for my to get me down. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just don't know how. I do know how to use the V-speeds and everything else, so that's what I'm doing right now. Just using my SciTech stuff to get me down. I paid for it for crying out loud, so I might as well use it, right? You can see I'm bobbing right now. It's like I'm skipping a rock on the water, so the airplane's going like this. I expedite my descent down 2,500 feet per minute, which means now my speed's in its climb. Over 250. Well, I'm just going to go out a little bit. We'll probably just fly just to lose the airspeed or lose the altitude. I'll just go out to Lake Mead and just do a nice sweep. There is a way, I'm sure. There's a way to be able to, I just don't know how to do it yet. How to descend with this airplane without having to use extra things like I'm doing right now. Now I'm approaching 260 knots. I'm going to kick back, going too fast, so I'm going to... Go back a little bit. To 1,000 feet per minute. And like I said, we'll just go out here, Lake Mead. I don't know if we can see Hoover Dam or not from here. And from here on out, we're going to be, as soon as we get past the VOR here, we'll be on heading mode. Because I was looking to see if we can see, well, just for the fun of it, we'll give our passengers a little treat. See if we can get over there. There's Hoover Dam right there. You're gonna lose the altitude anyway. That's why I like orthos. Yeah, they're not perfect because you can sometimes, a lot of times you'll see the clouds on the ground and whatnot, but still. A little bit of work, you can get it for free. Let's see, Hoover Dam. Well, at least a snapshot of it anyway. turn our heading to I watched a video or a documentary on the creation of the Hoover Dam and everything. It was pretty interesting. Serious engineering went on with that. Spin ourselves around. And then we'll get serious. Then we got to set up for landing. I don't even know if we're supposed to be landing on runway 26 right, but we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, we are, because I'm looking at the ground speed, or the wind says it's at 213, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, so now, what was the ILS frequency? 1150. I never have very good luck trying to intercept these ILSs. But I'll give it a shot. See ya. Bit. Hopefully I can capture it. If find out here in just a second. Because if it doesn't, I'll immediately have to go back to almost on top of it. Not, I'll just wing it and just land it old school by hand if I have to. High? Couldn't really say. Maybe I'm a little high, or a little low. It's alright. I'll just go through it. It's supposed to be a 121. It's not capturing it because you see how I'm off track. It's okay, I'll just do it my way then. Not gonna let me land my way, then I will, or your way, then I'll land my way. Which means I gotta lose a lot of altitude. I'm coming in way hot. That's alright. Deal with it. Fortunately, I got a nice long 14,000 foot runway, so I'm okay.
1,000.
Well, I feel like a rock right there. And there it is. I got the streams. Yay!
10.
There we go. Here, count me off on that one. 576 feet. I sucked. It's okay. Practice. I'll get it eventually. We don't need to be on the center. Well, I got center at one point. Like I said, practice. That's all I can do. Just practice, practice, practice. That's why it's a simulation. let's go over there, I guess. You got the people who are anal and attentive, exactly know exactly which stand to go to and the whole 9 yards. We're just gonna go over there. And I forgot to turn on my lights. Okay, there. Now I turn on my lights. And I gotta turn them off. And then I forgot to turn off my music. And I gotta turn my music back on. Now somebody's gonna recognize that I have my taxis on. Now I get credited. You gotta power cycle yours. When you forget to do something, you just power cycle it, and it's all good. Well, I would say these guys over here would be a nice, good, strong candidate to park this airplane. Look at that guy. Like, dude, don't you know I'm coming? Oh, so what do? You stop right in front of me. Damn NPCs. No auto gate. That's fine, I don't need it anyway. Alright, cleanup time. Turn that off right there. Off. Off. Off, off. We'll go ahead and start the APU back so we won't lose power. Of course, I should have done that on the way. Let the APU come back. I didn't have time to start an APU. I was too busy trying to land like crap with 576 feet per minute. Or 78. Correction, 78 feet per minute. Whatever. I tried. I made the effort. I'll get better. It would have been fine if I would have been able to get the ILS, but I don't know what I'm doing something wrong. I gotta. That's another thing I gotta learn. I gotta learn how to capture the ILS, and then I'm good. You know, and I have in the past. Just not this time. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and turn on the bleed. Go ahead and turn off that and that, I guess. And we have no pressurization, so we can open the doors. Let's go ahead and start the thing of fuel. Lights off. Boom, boom, boom. Lights are off. Dampener off. What else do I need to do here? Windshield heat off, statics off, hydraulics off. Not in any particular order. Strobes should have been off when I landed. We'll leave the positions on battery, or actually on, because we got generator here. And we don't need that. I should leave the collisions lights on because I'm still running the APU. So for safety purposes, I would imagine that's probably what you want to do. And I think I can go ahead and open the doors. I thought. I guess not. Because there's something I'm missing. And you still need the air for the passengers, so that's not right. Ground. Interesting. Well, then let's just do this. Let's go ahead and get the ground trucks in here and all that sort of stuff. And I'll turn off the APU. That's how you get rid of it. Hey, I was actually on the line. Check that out. Wasn't far enough in though. I'm still way out here in Never Land, but still, at least I was on the line. Cool. Very good. All right, so what else do I have to do here? Eventually I'll get a checklist out here and I'll actually start using a checklist. So, SimBuddy wise, I need to undo the passengers, start offloading the passengers with SimBuddy. Any other lights that are on? APU is off. I can turn off the collision lights. I'll leave the position lights on. Alright, looks like SimBuddy, your flight is complete, so SimBuddy is done. I'll click on Finish, Finish, and let's go ahead and review here. Everything is off, 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 off. We turn those off, right? I can't get to them. Those are off. Battery. And this is off. Go away. And we'll turn all those off. Now this thing should die completely. Die, airplane, die. Oh, that's because I gotta turn this off. That's why. Gotta turn off all my other little switches. There we go. Now it's dying. And welcome to Las Vegas. Home of the soon-to-be Oakland Raiders. Moved to Las Vegas at one point or another. But anyway, so that takes care of the flight. So let's go ahead and jump back. I don't know if we want to see the landing because the landing's going to look like crap. But hey, for your enjoyment here, let's go ahead and go to replay. Toggle replay mode. And we'll probably go right about there. Yeah, right about there somewhere. Oh, no, it's too far. There we go. Then we go to tower. Tower, tower, tower view. Boom. And I hit play. Let's see how bad this landing is. I'm banging the sticks a little bit, aren't I? Can I remove that? Oh, you can remove it now. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know how I'm going to get it back, but still, that's pretty good that you can remove it now. Whoa, boom. I flared too early, don't you think? If I would have done the second part the first time, that would have been okay. Now look at it, like me floating the thing. Ooh, I even got the reversers on as my nose is still in the air. Yeah, buddy. Tells you how much of a noob I am. Also, too, I did not have my auto brakes on either, I noticed. Should have my auto brakes on. You don't have those in general aviation. We don't have auto brakes. We just land. Not bad, I guess. Not bad. Okay. Well, anyway. So, very, very good. Well, guys, I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, all in all, the airplane is a good airplane. It just has all the caveats that I've said during the course of this video. It's your decision if you want to buy it or not. It's totally your call. Like I've said countless times in this video, it is overpriced for what you get currently. If they actually add the items that I discussed in the course of the life cycle of the airplane, well, on the front end of the life cycle of the airplane, not the back end, then the money will be justified. But until then, yeah, it just, I don't know. I knew buying airliners was going to be expensive anyway, because developers and everybody know that that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be the big bad, big bad pilot, carrying all these passengers and whatnot. So they know they got a market for it, and they know they can actually get a lot of money for them, when general aviation is not so much. People just kind of like, there's only a handful of people such as myself who get all giddy about general aviation aircraft. Matter of fact, the DA-42 that Aerobask is currently making right now, I'm kind of like, ooh, really? That looks interesting. The downside is they're not putting in Skyview. They're gonna now I'm gonna get nailed for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. They're going the lazy man route by just saying, oh, we're just gonna use the X-plane, the stock X-plane Garmin 1000, and to me it's kind of like, dudes, you guys have already got the best general aviation avionics for X-plane out there, which is the which is the Skyview 2.0. You can improve that a little bit with VNAV with it, and you got the ultimate thing out there. But for some reason, they're just going to put the Garmin 1000 in there and just shove it out the door, and not, as far as I know. Now, I could be all wrong with that, and people will probably correct me in the comments down below. But I am disappointed that the DA-42 is going to be shipped with a Garmin 1000 instead of actually using a Skyview that's already in-house, that Aerobask has already created. All they have to do is just put vertical nav in there, and they're done. They've got the best of the best. But whatever. So will I buy it? It'll be $39, I would imagine. I don't know what the price point is right now, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be about $39. I don't know. I do like the DA, because I have the DA-42, and I like the DA-42. It's just that that Aerobask product, they just basically slapped the Garmin 550 in and called it, the panel for their aviation, for their whatchamacallit, their navigation. The navigation panel, they just slapped a Garmin 530 and made it bigger and called it whatever they called it. I don't even know what they call it. They couldn't call it a Garmin 1000, but the Garmin 1000 was on the other two panels, but the center panel was not. So I don't know. I just have to wait and see what they do, and see if they do. Maybe they will offer the Aerobask 2.0, because everybody's going to use that. They're not going to use the laminars, because the Garmin's, or the 2.0 is so much better. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys appreciate this video. Like, subscribe, donate. I have donate icons up because I can no longer make any money with my videos anymore, which I never did make any money anyway, because I never got any donations anyway. But hey, if you feel that this was worth it, that I gave you guys some insight in this airplane, please, you know, I've got 2 links up there. One is for, you know, one's for Wells Fargo's little gizmo thing, which is called Zelda or whatever. Then the other one is PayPal. So if you feel this is worthy, hey, donate $1 or $2 or whatever. You know, at least that'll buy me a, you know, a candy bar or something. I don't know. But anyway, which I really don't need. But anyway, I greatly appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. You guys take care. Appreciate you guys sticking around for the 2 hours and 10 minutes of this video was. But this is one of those reviews that you do a flight and a review at the same time. That's what these things take. So anyway, take care, guys. Have yourselves a great one. Bye-bye.